You've been waiting for the wrong thing. When most people imagine an angel, they picture blinding light, a booming voice, a moment so dramatic it stops traffic. But that's not how it usually works. In Genesis 18, Abraham was sitting in the doorway of his tent. Midday heat, ordinary afternoon. Three strangers walked up. He didn't see wings. He didn't hear thunder. He offered them water and a meal. And those three men were angels. That's the pattern. Angels don't always announce themselves. They show up in the middle of your Tuesday, in your kitchen, in your bedroom, at your front door. And most people miss them because they're looking for the wrong signs. Today, that changes. Here are 7 signs that angels may already be in your house and what to do when you notice them. Sign number 1, the unexplained peace that falls over a room. You know the feeling. You walk into your living room. Nothing has changed, but something feels different, quieter, lighter, like a weight you didn't know you were carrying just lifted. You weren't praying. You weren't even thinking about God. And yet, peace arrives like a guest who let themselves in. Don't dismiss that. In Judges 6, an angel appeared to Gideon while he was working, hiding in a winepress, afraid, exhausted. The angel's first words were not a command. They were an affirmation. The Lord is with you, mighty warrior. Gideon didn't feel mighty. He felt forgotten. But the peace that came with that presence, that was the sign. Philippians 4 verse 7 calls it the peace of God, which transcends all understanding. It doesn't always come with explanation. It just comes. Sign number 2, a stranger who appeared at exactly the right moment. Think back. Has a stranger ever said something to you that they couldn't have known you needed to hear? Maybe at a grocery store, a gas station, a waiting room. Someone who looked you in the eyes, spoke exactly the right words, and then was gone. You turned around, and they weren't there. In Genesis 19, 2 angels arrived in the city of Sodom looking like ordinary travelers. Lot saw them and immediately urged them, "Please come to my house." He didn't know why. He just felt compelled. And those strangers ended up saving his entire family. Hebrews 13 verse 2 says it plainly. Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it. Without knowing it. That stranger who handed you the right word at the wrong time. That person who helped you change a tire at midnight and then drove off before you could say thank you. Sign number 3, waking up in the middle of the night for no reason. 3 a.m. No alarm, no noise, no bad dream. Just awake. You lie there, unsure why. And sometimes there's a name on your heart. A person, a worry, a quiet urge to pray. That is not insomnia. That is an invitation. In 1 Kings 19, the prophet Elijah had collapsed in the wilderness, burned out, hopeless, asking God to take his life. An angel touched him and said, "Get up and eat." Then again, "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." The angel came twice, in the middle of the night, not to preach, to nourish. God knows when you're depleted. And sometimes, waking you at an unusual hour is how heaven gets your attention. Daniel 9 verses 21 to 23 records the angel Gabriel arriving at the time of the evening sacrifice to bring Daniel understanding. Appointed hours are real. Sign number 4, a near miss you cannot explain. The car that swerved just in time. The fall that should have been worse. The accident that didn't happen, even though by every logical measure, it should have. You've had one. You know the one. You laughed it off afterward. You said that was lucky. But was it? Psalm 91 verses 11 to 12 says, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." This is not poetry. This is a promise. In Acts 12, Peter was in prison, chained between 2 guards, execution scheduled for morning. An angel appeared, woke him, removed his chains, walked him past 2 sets of guards, opened an iron gate, and then vanished. Peter thought he was dreaming. He had no idea that what the angel was doing was real. He only understood afterward. Most angelic protection is recognized in hindsight. The near miss you shake your head about years later. The moment you know, you recovered. Sign number 5. An unusual warmth or presence in your home. Not a temperature, something deeper. You're sitting in a chair and you feel held. Like the room itself is breathing with you. Like you're not alone, even though the house is quiet and empty. Some people feel it in the middle of worship. Some feel it in the stillness before sleep. Some feel it in grief, and something gentle moves into the room. In Luke 1, the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary. Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you. Luke 1 verse 28. Mary was troubled by the words, but she was also in the presence of something that was unmistakably real. Acts 2 verse 3 describes the early believers when the Holy Spirit descended. What seemed to be tongues of fire came to rest on each of them. Warmth, presence, something that cannot be explained by central heating. This is what the disciples felt in the upper room. And it is what you may feel right there in your bedroom, your kitchen, your quiet corner of the house. Sign number 6, a sudden, unexplained urge to check on someone. Out of nowhere, a name lands on your heart. A friend you haven't spoken to in months. A family member you've been meaning to call. A child you feel a pull to pray for. You feel in your chest. It's specific. It's urgent, but not anxious. This is not worry. This is a prompt. In Acts 10, Peter received a vision, and then, immediately, 3 men showed up at his door asking for him. The Spirit said, "Get up and go downstairs. Do not hesitate to go with them, for I have sent them." He didn't know why. He went. That moment connected 2 households, 2 stories, and changed both of them forever. Angels coordinate. They carry messages not just to you, but sometimes through you, as a call you made, a visit you took, a text you sent at 11 p.m., because you just had a feeling. How many times has someone told you, "I was just thinking about you"? How many times have you been that person for someone else? Sign number 7, a vivid dream that felt more real than a dream. This is the one most people don't talk about, because it sounds strange, but it's deeply biblical. You had a dream, and when you woke up, you were certain it meant something. Not a stress dream, not a random replay of a day. Something with clarity, color, something that stayed with you. Matthew 1 verse 20, an angel appeared to Joseph in a dream. The instruction was specific. Do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife. Joseph obeyed a dream, and the trajectory of human history shifted. In Genesis 28, Jacob fell asleep on the ground, a stone for his pillow. He dreamed of a stairway reaching to heaven, with angels ascending and descending. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." Genesis 28 verse 16. Daniel's entire prophetic ministry was rooted in dreams and visions. Job 33 verses 14 to 15 says God speaks in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people. God still speaks this way, and angels are often the messengers. If you've had a dream that lingered, don't bury it. 7 signs, all ordinary, all easily dismissed. The signs were always there. You just didn't have the eyes to see them. Now you do. If this opened your eyes today, share it with someone who needs to know they're not alone. Subscribe, because we talk about this kind of thing every week,